Hey everybody, this is Isaiah, Bobby, and Lee with another episode of Sales and Marketing Secrets. And today's podcast, we're going to be focused on talking about what is happening in the world of video. So obviously, we have all heard, if you've been in real estate for any length of time, how important it is to do video. But the reality is that I found after training and coaching thousands of people at this point, and same thing with Bobby and Lee, that it's really there's a lot of challenges around video, right? Like there's a lot of challenges around getting adoption to bring video into your sales and marketing plan. And I always knew that, but I did not know the magnitude of it until this weekend. So we went to a convention, local convention. There was about 1,000 agents in there, most of them very successful agents. And we were kind of talking about some of the solutions that Ren offers in the video space, and then what we can do to apply those solutions to the brokerage. And so we kind of came up with an elevator pitch for the event, and it went kind of something like this: is Ren helps agents and teams draw business from their database, generate new opportunities, and build a local brand, or what we call a power brand, using video marketing. And then we asked the question, said, hey, just out of curiosity, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you doing with like incorporating video into your marketing plan and using it to build a brand and draw business from your database? And almost every one of them was like, yeah, I really need to work on that. I'm not. And what's interesting is on stage, Tom Ferry is talking about like the number one thing you have to do right now for your business is focus on your database, put out massive amounts of content, and do tons of video marketing. It's just, there's such a huge gap between like what is being trained and what's actually happening. And so then we kind of did some self-reflection, because our team has officially been up and running within the brokerage. Our team has been up and running for about 6 months now, right? Yep. So we were like, we're doing some self-reflection, and we're like, okay, so where are all the areas we need to do video to make sure we're leading by example, right? So we went on a massive like video rampage. So like we did lead generation videos. We're going through all of our automated follow-up text message campaigns.
Whatever we have in our CRM, we're basically taking that and converting all of that into video, regardless of if it's our client CRM or recruiting CRM or mastermind CRMs. Everything's being turned into videos.
Text messages being turned into short videos. We did a home seller secret masterclass that we had like written out in the workbooks. We turned that into videos. So we're on a crazy video blitz. So we're excited to see what's happening. I think you're doing something similar, right? Like you're kind of on a video blitz too right now with your team.
Yeah.
Right?
It's one thing that I see is that everyone's just like, we did a photo shoot and a little video thing the other day with some of our team members, and just like everyone's talking fine, everything's good, they're having conversation, the camera goes on and everyone turns into like deer in the headlights. And that's the thing, is just be natural and just don't worry about it. Just be natural, and everything will come out fine. I mean, everyone is so worried about, oh, I hate the way I look on camera, I hate the way I sound on camera. I hear that. If I had a nickel for every time somebody said that, but you just need to be yourself and just relax. I mean, I'm guilty of it. Like I did an interview about a year ago, and I was just like, it was a big time agent, and I was just like, and after I'm like, oh my gosh, but you know what? Just keep doing it, practice, and the more times you're on camera. And I think that's one of the best things that happened. One of the positives of COVID was everyone was forced. Like I remember 3 years ago, I had a meeting and they're like, let's hop on Zoom. And I'm like, what, I barely even knew what it was, and then now it's like, I'd rather Zoom than just have a phone conversation, or even I'd rather Zoom than even text.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think that anytime I think when the camera turns on, there's always, they're worried about what people are thinking, right? It's a lot like the same reason why people don't like making cold calls. Well, I don't like the rejection, right? Or whatever it may be. So I think it's interesting that no matter what form of marketing, there's going to be some sort of hurdle or challenge to overcome.
Yep.
But yet that's what our wallet is attached to. Like, so
Absolutely.
it's like what, so I think it's so important just to keep having this conversation, that you have to do whatever it takes to press through and get consistent with your whole marketing plan, whether it's video, follow up, prospecting, whatever it may be, because those are the things that are going to mean the difference between actually like being in business and being stagnant and actually pushing through and achieving our goal. And it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you don't like it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, like, none of that matters. At the end of the day, like, nobody cares. Like, you have to figure out a way to overcome it. And, we train a lot on psychology, but at the end of the day, if, like, you said it, Lee, you just got to do it. It's just the repetition. I was talking to Ben Lang, one of our clients, and he's like talking about speaking on stage, and he's, and how bad he was the first time that he did it. And when he sees the video camera turn on and he's being recorded and he sees himself, he just gets all like, but he actually went to another convention and he did it again. He's done it a couple times now, and just how he's getting better and better, and he's getting great feedback. And so I think a lot of it's just repetition.
And here's the thing, right? You got to be yourself. I mean, even Tom Ferry, I think that was a big eye opener, because we always talk about it, but he was on the stage and, he was talking about his opinions on politics. He was talking about his opinions on, what's going on with Russia. He was throwing the F-bomb on stage. It's being recorded. It's live. It's being blasted out there. And we always think, right? And we always tell our clients in the real estate field, right? Take off the Trump flags, take off the Biden flags, take off this, take off that, be as neutral as possible. And we try to reflect that. We try to be as neutral as possible, but it's like, be who you are, right? And essentially, if you believe in a certain belief and certain this, that, right? Do you always want to be neutral, or do you think you'll correspond with clients that are like-minded like yourself, right? That believe in the same politics, that believe in, the same things as you do. So that, for us at least, that was a huge, eye opener. I'd say
having a little freedom just to be yourself, I think.
Just be yourself. Don't worry about being all media proper and whatnot, because we're all human, and it just portrays
You
that.
want to say something?
I'm saying that I've been known to throw a couple of F-bombs out. It's just, you just have to be yourself. I do personally, I keep politics and religion out of, business. I just do, because I try to be Switzerland on that point. But you know what? Like, I give people a lot of credit that just say what they feel, and it's.
Yep. Yeah, there's a fine line.
Yep.
There's a fine line. My buddy's horrible. He's like, he's been doing real estate a long time, but he's like, I'm ready to go for whatever scare. I got my Biden flag on one side of the car, and I got my Trump flag on the other. Like, whatever I got. I'm like, well, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna recommend that, but
Funny story. Like, I knew this guy that used to, back in the day when I was doing mortgages, he had a Corvette, nice Corvette, and he was killing it. And then when he went to go meet with the client, he had like a Chevy, and when he'd go to pick someone up, he'd have his Bible he put on the passenger seat, and like, and so he was like, so he would just, he would just play the game to get the deal. And it's kind of crazy, but I mean, I just thought it was so funny that people go to some length.
To do what they got to do to get the deal. It's wild. But I think just like, even for us doing this podcast, like we can be all stuffy and like want it to be like the perfect word, like and we find that like our audience doesn't even want that. And that's what I want you guys to realize when you're doing video is people don't want, like, people are turned off by things that aren't perceived to be real. Like, even when I'm doing a ad to promote an event, I'll purposely leave some imperfection in there where I won't reshoot it, because number one, it's not worth the time to do it. But number two, I want people to know and feel like they can do it too. Right? Like,
Absolutely.
it's so important. So as a trainer and coach, I keep those things in mind, you know?
Well, I had a great conversation with Clara where she was running analytics on all of her videos. And in one of our ads, you actually slipped the F-bomb. And, you know, you did. And believe it or not, like significantly more views on that video and significantly more opt-ins on that one video than any other video you produced, you know, previously.
Yeah. So it's like that video, they bleeped it out because I did that strategically though. So what that one,
Strategic.
yeah. So it was actually about video. I think is it the one that I was talking about video?
Yep.
Yeah.
So like you guys gotta F and do it. Like it was, yeah.
I believe it's different.
No, that was it different.
I think it's different.
Alright.
But I did one where I was like, does video scare the living out of you? And then they bleeped it out like at the
I
beginning.
love that. That's going to get people's attention, you know?
No, it did. Yeah, it did. It did. Like, and it did really, really well. So you can have fun with, once you get comfortable too, and you get the repetition, you can start having more fun with it too, you know? So,
And you could be an introvert in person and quiet, but when the camera goes on, you can just be outrageous. And we have a couple of agents. We have one in particular that's on our team, and she's so quiet and shy in person, but then on camera she's like a wild woman, and it's crazy. And it's like, then I'll see her in person and I'm like, are you the same person? And then just some people, the light goes on and boom, you know.
Boom.
You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's funny how different people react. Like I have another one of our great longtime clients, Terry. Like in person, she is a wild woman, like in a good way. She's like a lot of fun, like out there, like just hugging. Like we were doing planks, like we were at the convention, like doing planks, a plank competition in front of everybody.
I saw that. Like I think she beat you.
Yeah, she beat me. That's kind of embarrassing, but you put her on camera, she gets so, you know, she gets really nervous. Like, or if she have to speak in front of like a formal group, like she becomes a different person. And it's just interesting how our brains react to things. So,
well, I think it's the previous coaching too, right? Everybody's like, whatever you put on, you know, the internet, it's always going to stay there. You can't take it off, you know, and, you know, just going through college and everything with, you know, with our counselors, what everybody would, you know, say is, hey, watch what you put on social media when you're getting a job, you know, it's going to haunt you. So I think that's like ingrained in the back of, you know, people's mind too. So I've heard that from, you know, our agents, is they're like, well, the internet's forever, right? So I don't want to say something or do something wrong. And I just think you got to forget about that and just be who you are.
Yeah, be smart, but don't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it too much.
I love the agents that do the blooper reels, you know, so they'll do like an informative video and then the last 15 seconds they'll do bloopers with a bunch of F-bombs bleeped out. And that's fun. People like that because people can relate, you know?
Yeah. I should do one of those because I definitely have some major bloopers when I do my ad shoots. Like some shoots it take me like 15 times to do it. And after like the 13th time, I'm like, what the like I'll do like the whole thing perfect and like I'll miss like the last part. I'm like, mother shit, I gotta start the whole thing over again. I might do that.
What about the when we were recording at the Airbnb? He recorded like 10 times and he was getting so pissed. And then it was like, I guess it was just like perfect shot. And I'm on the phone with one of my agents. So I walk in the room.
Oh, he walks in the room right now.
He's like, Bob, what the?
I'm like at the tail end of it. And Bobby walks in the room. Oh man, good time.
I'm still mad at you for not inviting me to Vegas next time.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna be down. I'm going down to the Inman convention in New York City, so I'm gonna hang down there for a couple of days. But we definitely, we got NAR coming up on September 15th. You should come to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You should come to that. So that's going to be a good one. Anyway, so for this podcast, get great at doing video. And the only way to get great at doing video is just do it. And I believe in roadmaps. So if you're looking at a way to start, you can start with something simple and work your way up. Like, so a lot of people you can start doing educational videos. That's probably the easiest way to start, and then you can get more advanced. But if you want a full blueprint of how to do video, what you can do is just you can download our playbook, or it's go to www.salesandmarketingplaybook.com, and there's a whole section in there on social media and video. There's a whole chapter on it. It gives you a step-by-step roadmap on how to do video. So anything else, guys, before we wrap it up?
Just do it.
Yep, just do it. So we hope you guys found today's podcast helpful and fun and energetic. We appreciate if you share it with your team or anyone that you think would consider this valuable. And we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks. See you guys.
Yeah.